Alright, let's get real for a minute about the Dallas Cowboys' run game against the Rams. If you've been watching, you know it hasn't been pretty. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of frustration, and honestly, a lot of questions about what's going wrong. But here's the thing, sometimes you need to hear it straight from the source, from the coaches who are actually in the trenches trying to fix these problems. That's where Connor Riley, the Cowboys' offensive line coach, comes in. This guy has a front row seat to what's happening up front, and his perspective is something every Cowboys fan needs to hear. Now, I know how it goes. As Cowboys fans, we tend to get hyped, and yeah, sometimes the coverage overblows things for clicks or drama. But this isn't one of those times. Connor Riley isn't out here making excuses or sugarcoating the truth. Instead, he's breaking down exactly why the run game hasn't been clicking like we hoped, why the line struggled against the Rams, and what they're doing to fix it. I want to be clear, this isn't about just blaming players or pointing fingers. It's about understanding the details, the nuances, the little things that can make or break a play when you're up against a defense as tough as the Rams. And it's also about recognizing the reality of injuries and new schemes and how all that impacts execution. So if you're like me, tired of hearing the same old excuses and want some real insight, this video is for you. We're going to break down what Coach Riley had to say, the challenges the O-line faces, and why patience mixed with accountability is the mindset moving forward. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest frustration with the Cowboys' run game so far? Is it the offensive line, the play calling, or something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you appreciate real, honest Cowboys talk like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive like this. Alright, let's get into it. Now, let's get into what Coach Connor Riley said about why the run game just didn't work versus the Rams. First off, he pointed out something that might sound simple, but is huge: discipline. Specifically, high discipline and pad level. That means the offensive linemen need to keep their eyes sharp and focused, not just reacting to the guy right in front of them, but understanding the bigger picture on the field. And pad level? It's about staying low and powerful, with your eyes under your chin, so you can get better leverage and drive defenders back. Coach Riley said the execution wasn't clean enough. There were too many small mistakes and missed details that piled up. Now, we've heard before that running the ball is a big focus for this team, right? They want to be a run-first offense. But the reality is, even though they tried to run, those attempts fell short because the execution just wasn't there. It's frustrating, but it's a fixable problem. One of the biggest challenges was the tough matchup on the left side, especially with Nate Thomas stepping in at left tackle after missing last year. Nate's still growing in confidence and learning to see the whole field faster, but he was up against Jared Verse, one of the best defensive players out there. That's a tough matchup for anyone, especially a backup or rookie filling in. Coach Riley was honest about that. Sometimes you're going to lose those battles, and that impacts the run game too. But here's the thing that stood out to me. Coach Riley doesn't want excuses. He's not here to say, oh, we had injuries, that's why we struggled. No. He's pushing his players to be professionals who are ready to step up whenever their number is called. Next man up is the mentality, and that's exactly what you want to hear from your coach. Still, he made it clear the team is working on those details: eye discipline, pad level, and overall execution, and that they're committed to improving every single day. That's encouraging because improvement comes from honest assessment and hard work. So, what do you think? Are injuries the real reason the run game has been struggling? Or do you think the players just haven't executed well enough? I want to know your take. Drop a yes or no in the comments. Do you think injuries are the main issue? And while you're at it, hit that like button if you appreciate getting the inside scoop straight from the coaching staff. Alright, now let's talk about the injury situation, because it's been a real challenge for the Cowboys' offensive line this season. Missing key players like Tyler Smith, who is one of the best linemen on this team, has left some pretty big gaps. When you have a rookie or an undrafted free agent like Nate Thomas stepping into a tough spot against elite defenders like Jared Verse, it's understandable why the run game might take a hit. It's not just about talent. It's about experience and chemistry, and those don't develop overnight. Coach Riley was very clear: no excuses. He knows the injuries make the job harder, but he also expects every player who steps on the field to be prepared and professional. Who's going to feel sorry for the Dallas Cowboys? He said, nobody. It's all about being ready to perform, no matter what the circumstances are. That kind of mentality is what separates good teams from great ones. Still, it's important to recognize how much pressure these backups and younger guys are under. They're learning new schemes, switching from a zone to a gap blocking system, which requires a lot of nuance and understanding, and they're doing it against one of the best defensive lines in the league. That's a tall order for anyone, especially with limited reps and experience. So while Coach Riley won't make excuses, as fans, it's fair to understand the context. The O-line has been hit hard by injuries, and that's definitely a factor in why the run game has struggled. But at the same time, the players have to grow, adapt, and get better despite the adversity. That's the mindset the coaching staff is pushing every day. Now, I want to hear from you. Who are you most eager to see back on the line to help improve the run game? Is it Tyler Smith, Tyler Gayton, or someone else? Let me know in the comments. And if you want the latest upgrades on injuries and inside info from the Cowboys, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Now let's shift gears and talk about why there's still reason to stay optimistic about the Cowboys' run game moving forward. Despite all the frustration and setbacks, Coach Riley and others have seen some positive signs worth holding onto. For one, the team's competitive stamina is there. They're staying in the fight, pushing through adversity instead of folding. That's a big deal when you consider the injuries and scheme changes they're dealing with. Plus, once key players like Tyler Gayton and Tyler Smith get healthy and back on the field, the offensive line should get a much-needed boost. These are experienced guys who bring stability and strength to the unit. And as the younger players like Nate Thomas and others get more live reps, they'll gain confidence and better understanding of the system. It's a process, but it's happening. Coach Riley also talked about the importance of attention to detail, things like pad level, discipline, and mental focus. Those sound like small things, but they can make a massive difference in execution. The good news is the team is focused on fixing those details in practice, which shows intentional growth. Look, I get it, watching the run game struggle is frustrating, and nobody likes seeing their team get pushed around. But if we're patient and trust the process, the pieces are there for improvement. It's about steady growth and holding players accountable to those fundamentals. So here's a quick yes or no for you. Are you feeling more optimistic about the Cowboys' run game after hearing what Coach Riley had to say? Drop a yes or no in the comments and tell me why or why not. And if you're staying hopeful with me, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more honest Cowboys updates. Alright, let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. The Cowboys' run game struggle against the Rams isn't the end of the world, but it's definitely a challenge they have to overcome. What's clear from Coach Riley's insights is that the team isn't ignoring the problems. They're addressing them head-on with discipline, attention to detail, and a next-man-up mentality that demands professionalism no matter what. Injuries have made things tougher, but the coaching staff is confident that with health returning and more experience gained by the backups, the run game will get better. It's a process, sometimes a frustrating one, but the foundation for growth is there. What the Cowboys need now is patience from the fans, support for the players grinding it out, and a belief that improvement is coming. I'm going to be dropping more videos breaking down other key topics for the Cowboys as we get closer to the preseason games, so make sure you stay tuned for those. If you want to keep up with all the latest news, insider info, and honest takes like this one, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the like. It really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you the content you want. Before I let you go, I want to know, what topic do you want me to cover next? More offensive line talk, defensive breakdowns, or maybe something else entirely? Drop your ideas in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's keep rooting for this team and believing in the comeback. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next video.